my goodness. Hello, everyone. It's NonnaGrace. I was on a roll and I forgot to push the button. I was going to tell you to never mind the noise in the background because it was my dishwasher. But I think my dishwasher's done. My dishwasher is my husband. He washes the dishes for me. A long time ago, well, this is different than the first time around because now another thought came to my mind. A long time ago when I was working at McDonald's, which was probably a good 15 years ago. Oh my goodness, it's been a long time. My hands were getting really sore from sanitizing the trays and washing the tables and using their stuff and cleaning the bathrooms. My hands were getting pretty bad. And then with the weather being cold, and they would crack and my fingers would crack and they would start to, the corners would gap so badly that when you ran water on it, you thought you were being electrocuted because the fingers were broken. Well, my husband felt sorry for me, I believe. He didn't like the fact that I had broken fingers. The skin was broken, not the actual finger. But so he started doing the dishes. And then when I left the McDonald's, he continued to do the dishes. Then when I went to work at the school, he continued to do the dishes. So 15 years later, approximately, he's still doing the dishes. I cook, he cleans up. And he's a really good cleaner-upper. There was something else I wanted to say. What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to talk about, I watched, there's my clock bonging. What time is it? Oh my, I'm early. It's only what, 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? They should be outside playing for a few more minutes until supper is ready. I've already had my supper. And when you get older, you seem to eat earlier or something. Or actually, because I don't have breakfast, I have a little protein shake with my coffee and butter sometimes, and my collagen with my coffee. And then I don't have lunch unless I'm bored. Then I might have some cheese. And I've been putting the cheese in the frying pan and letting it melt and get a little crusty on the bottom and then sliding it into my dish instead of putting it in the microwave. It's really good. And if I have leftover sauce, I've been putting a little sauce on it and making myself a little cheese pizza topping. It's a topping. And then when my husband gets home, it gets around 4:30. I say, we better eat before it gets too late. So we eat our supper early. Where most people will think about eating around 5:36, we're all done. And so I told him, though, that maybe I'll have something more later. I might have some cheese. I haven't had my cheese yet today, so I just might have the cheese. And that's what I do, eating on the ketogenic way of eating. I throw that in there so that you know what I'm actually doing. I try to watch the carbs. And so tonight it was a roast that we had cut into steaks, and we were going to use them as steaks, but you can't cook a roast like a steak because it comes tougher than tough. So I cooked it in the crock pot I put cream of mushroom soup with it, which cream of mushroom soup has a lot of carbs, but then you add extra water so that you just don't have, so when you're eating the soup, you're getting more of a diluted soup, so there's probably less carbs in it. And then we had the cauliflower crumbles, I guess. I want to call it crumbles. They're crumbly. They look just like eating rice. If you were to put it in a dish, like you could have a stir fry, what we called a stir fry, which was rice with vegetables and chicken, and you would put a little soy sauce on it. If you did that with the cauliflower, riced cauliflower, it feels just like you're eating rice. So it's really good. And the carb count is way lower because rice is a high carb thing. I have to itch the end of my nose. It itches. Oh no. Okay. And they say when your nose itches, I think I said this in one of my other videos, that you have to kiss a fool, meet a stranger, fall in love, or be in danger if your nose itches. So a lot of times what we used to do is we used to kiss ourselves because you didn't want to be in danger. So fool me. Oh, you could meet a stranger, though. That's not bad. So, hello, stranger. Is there a stranger out there? I don't know. But hello. I wanted to tell you about a video that I watched today, too. I watched, his name is Bob. It's a nice name, Bob. And it's from the Mountain Crest Farm. Now, when you're watching, I like his coffee chats, is what I like. And the stuff he talks about resonates with me. And I don't know if it's because I'm getting older and he's an older man. I'm actually older than him. But it still resonates with me because he was talking about how the cold, he finds that he can't tolerate the cold as well. And he used to kind of chuckle when his mom would put something on when it was like 70 degrees and she was feeling cold and he was just getting comfortable. Well, my husband laughs at me too because he's just getting comfortable and I'm putting on a sweater because I'm cold. Now today I said was cold and it was like 54, 56, 57 degrees. It was cold. It's cold. He said, not bad. Yeah, that's what he thinks. I think it's cold. If you're sitting in the car riding and the car feels comfortable, it's cold outside. If the car is too hot, then it's hotter outside, but the car was comfortable. I had to go to the dentist today. And I got my teeth cleaned, and they did that panoramic, whatever, x-ray thing. I let them do that. But now they're not going to do any x-rays in December because they will say, oh, you're due for x-rays. And I'll say, no, I'm not. You did the pan thing. I'm good till the next year. And I have a tooth, another tooth. Oh gosh, these teeth of mine. I have a tooth. I wasn't sure if I was going to mention this or not because this tooth at one time, it's a broken tooth. It's been broken for at least 4 or 5. I don't know, when did I become a walk leader? I don't remember. 2000 and something. 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe. I don't know. That's been a while. The tooth broke just before we were supposed to go to Florida for me to become certified. And it didn't hurt, so I left it alone. And it has not hurt in all this time, but just lately I've noticed that when I go to eat something cold, that tooth really, it bothers. I bend down to do something and I'm feeling pain in my tooth. It's like, this is weird. I shouldn't feel it when I bend over, but apparently I do because pressure or something, I don't know. Well, I mentioned it to the dentist today, and he says, would you believe, he said, we could pull it. And I'm thinking, well, if I hadn't had the other tooth pulled, I probably would agree to have that one pulled. But I think because I've had the tooth pulled on the one side, I'm going to keep this tooth. It's got it. He says, well, it looks like it's good enough and we don't have to do a root canal. And I says, well, that's good because if you had to do a root canal, we'd be pulling it because I don't want a root canal. Because most people, when they get a root canal, we used to go to a dentist that actually taught root canals. And he said that 9 times out of 10, that tooth that had the root canal ends up being pulled anyways. So I would just avoid the root canal and just have it pulled. So he's going to do a cap. And a cap is very expensive, but I do have the health savings account that has to be used for just medical things. So I use it for my dental work. So I'm going to have a cap put on a tooth that is broken, that has been broken for a long, long time. And every time I'd go to the dentist, he'd say, you know that broken tooth, anytime you want it fixed. And I said, not yet. And now I'm ready for it to be fixed. So I'm going to get that done. But anyways, I was going to, the Mountain Crest Farm. Did I say about the cold? I can't remember. Yeah, I mentioned about the cold. And, oh, he also mentioned, he was talking about how our views change as you get older. When I was like, and when he was 10, he said that 20 was old. Well, 20 was old for me too at 10. I remember when my brother Joe, hello Joe, if you're out there, I don't know if you're watching or not, but hi Joe. I remember when Joe turned 20. We thought it was the biggest deal. He was so old. When he was 20, when he turned 20, we thought he was old. And then I turned 20. And 20's not so old. And then we thought that 40 was pretty old. Yep. 20 is young, 40 is old. Well, when I hit 40, 40's not old either. Now I'm in my 60s. You know what age I think is old now, possibly? Well, maybe 90 something. He also talked about cold feet. Yes, I get cold feet in the winter. In fact, I don't like, when you go to step out, your feet hurt. And mine do too, because when this winter comes. And he also mentioned that it was, the day that I was watching, it was June 1st for him, but it's not June 1st today. It's like June 3rd. But it's still cold outside. He says he's got the heat right now. We don't have the heat, but I'm hoping we get the heat. They said later in the week it's supposed to be more near the 70s. So we should have a little heat wave. It'll be kind of nice. I guess that's it. I better stop before it goes over 15 minutes because then I don't know how to upload this. So I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.